What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of GW Recap. I'm your host, Cardell Dudley, and George Washington. As you can see, cruised to a 97-40 win over St. Mary's College, Division III program located in Southern Maryland. Um, just overwhelmed St. Mary's with their size, athleticism, skill, just every facet of the game from the opening tip. Um, George Washington was led by Rafael Castro, finished with 14 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals. Ty Bevins, 14.7 rebounds in extended minutes. And Luke Hunger with 12 points and a game high 15 rebounds. St. Mary's College was led by trying to make sure I get his name right, Evan Quintero, who posted 7 points and 8 rebounds. Point guard Kari Hyde, who added 7 points and 3 assists. And James Cromardo, who posted 7 points respectively. It went about as much you think it went, man. Look, GW was picked to be one of the favorites to win the A10. The A10 is one of the top conferences in all of college basketball. I know they deem it a mid-major conference, but traditionally it is that. But lately with the transfer portal, you can't say that it is. They constantly upset Power 5 programs all the time. So to me, it's better than a mid-major. Especially with me covering the league for X amount of years, man. So, with St. Mary's coming in, Division III college, it's you could just see the size and the size differential, and you knew that it was going to be it's going to be an uphill battle for them, and that's exactly what it was. GW literally jumped on St. Mary's College from the opening tip, as you can see with the Luke Hunger spin. Made it 14-2, and they didn't stop, man. They started with that 14-2 break, and they just poured it on. They started the game on a 22-4 run, and they led obviously, like I said, 22-4 at the 11:50 mark. And during that span, GW shot 8 of 10 from the field, 3 or 4 from deep, 5 or 6 from the line, while holding St. Mary's College to 1 or 13 from the field. I mean, obviously, if you damn near go half a half and you can only make one field goal, it's pretty much a big-time forecast of what's to come. Ty Bevins' 3 put GW up 30, 43-13 around the 5-minute mark in the first half. And then GW closed the half on the 22 run to take a 60-15 halftime lead. In the second half, it was more of the same. Came out. St. Mary's had a couple layups, and then GW buckled down, and that was all. That was it. They they just went ahead and just put the nail in the coffin, so to speak, man. They started the second half on a 26-10 run. And they pretty much was never threatened again, man. It was just look, trying to be respectful and all that, but it was just dominance in every facet, man. St. Mary's had no answer at any position, anyway, man. Just for them to get a test to, build towards their season and, what they're trying to do as far as, conference play about to start for the respective conference at the Division III level. But it was just a clinic, and I just gotta be honest. It's no way to kind of delay this, man. GW out rebounded on 53-27. GW forced 23 turnovers. Paint 50-22. GW had 50 points in the paint. That tells you, and it wasn't just post ups with the bigs. It was lobs. It was isolations where guys were just getting beaten off the dribble, and GW just got to the paint, was dunking, as you can see with Ty Bevins. dunking with no resistance whatsoever, making it look easy like a layup drill. As I said, it was just all around clinic. GW shot 52% from the field, 40% from deep, 73% from the line. Only missed 4 free throws, and held St. Mary's to 25% shooting from the field, 16% shooting from deep, and 77% from the charity stripe. GW with this will open A10 play after this win on the road on New Year's Eve at Richmond in the 4 p.m. tip on ESPN Plus and Monumental Sports Network is on. I expect the A10 conference play. I expect it to be highly competitive. It's a lot of teams that can walk out there. Obviously, George Mason sits first. St. Louis is right behind them. VCU's picked to finish first. So, it's going to be super competitive. It's going to be super intense down the stretch, man. So, keep an eye not just on GW. I know GW feel like they have a good chance as long as they stay healthy. Christian Jones didn't play today. Garrett Johnson didn't play today. They're going to need everybody, all hands on deck to try to get out the A10 because to put it simple, it's going to be a bloodbath. I'm just being honest. Matter of fact, before I get out of here, I will even look at the standings so people can get a better feel for what I'm saying as to how competitive it is right now in the A10. So as I look at the standings, like I said, George Mason's first at 11-1. St. Louis is right behind them at 11-1. St. Bonaventure 11-2. Richmond 10-2. Davidson 8-3. Dayton 9-4. Fordham 9-4. GW after this one 9-4. Rhode Island 8-4. VCU 8-4. St. Joe's 7-4. Duquesne 6-5. Then LaSalle and Loyola Chicago, which has been very disappointing. Those are only 2 teams below 500. They're both 4-9. That's what I mean by it's going to be a bloodbath. It really is. And St. Louis is riding a 5-game winning streak. Fordham a 3-game winning streak. It's going to get real in next week after the break. So it should be some fun basketball in the A10 coming up. I will keep GW recaps coming because it's I'm gonna need to. It's going to be a lot of thrilling basketball that's coming up, man. And if you're a basketball fan, it should give you all the action you ever wanted, man. So thank you for joining me for this game for another episode of GW Recap. Talk to you guys later.